I want to show you the storage unit rental disaster piece. Um, this screenshot says that this was left um, 13 hours ago, but I took the screenshot 13 hours ago when I took the screenshot. This was actually um, on Wednesday. Uh, and I looked at this. If you read all that there, this is what happened. After wasting a whole bunch of time trying to get this unit, okay, and then when you look at the progression, the more you look at some corrupt organization like this, you each time you keep looking, if you keep looking, you're going to see more and more evidence, that shows what kind of fraudsters they are. This is Colonial Village Apartments, which had a Google listing that I got removed. They were referred to me by the HUD-VASH team out at the Dayton VA, and they collected $70 for a background check that they never performed. And then when I looked into them, I discovered all kinds of fraudulent, uh, you know, um, information. They had their apartment listing on Google Maps, and uh, uh, there's no office location there. And their website is of Sanford, North Carolina, address and all that stuff. So, anyways, um, um, after doing some research, trying to find the headquarters information, I found this on a corporate uh, listing, corporate office and headquarters. And it says the number is private. And I've been asking the call center for, the headquarters contact information, and nobody knew it. And there's a reason for that, okay? So, what's going on here? I'm not. So, for some reason, it's not um, showing all that. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and go to Google Maps. And show you the progressive search that I did. So I storage. Okay, that one was from Storage of Rentals of America um, on Bridgewater Road in Huber Heights, Ohio. So I left this review over here. Every time I looked more deeper into this, I discovered more information. You can read all that, and I added the information to the review. So I'll give you a second to read that if you're even interested. But so you can always stop and freeze it and read that. So um, I look at there's Bridgewater, Colonial Village Lanes. So I go over here and I find uh, oh, I know what to do. I know what to do. Um, I will go to I'll go right here and I'll look at my reviews. Wait a minute. How do I do this? Okay. Reviews, local guide, 3 reviews. Okay. So we can go right here. Another 5-star review I gave for U-Haul, which I found at the very end, of this entire ordeal. And by the time I got my stuff, a couple loads in there, it was already too late to turn my keys in at the property management company, and directly, um, these um, Storage Rentals of America um, caused my eviction because I spent so much time trying to get a storage unit and get my stuff in to U-Haul moving storage that I ran out of time to get my keys turned in and had to go to the hearing, where I got evicted. But this is where supposedly the HQ is. That's where that listing said that they're at. And when you look at all this, here I'll scroll down it slowly, but it's pretty much just what I added to it every time that I went somewhere, and I'm waiting on an anonymous supervisor to call back within 24 hours. You may or may not have the authority to give a refund now. And all the call center operators give me the corporate, I asked them to give me the corporate number, and the corporate filing says it's private, but picture below I found the corporate address, HQ address and phone number. And then when you call the phone number, it's a cell phone that has a mailbox that has not been set up yet. So it says, it doesn't say anything, it just clicks off, So you can't do anything. And if you read the reviews on their website, this particular location website, they're all scripted. And because none of the 5-star reviews are anywhere near what's close to what's going on here. So this is Maitland Hall Trail Road in Ashland, Kentucky. And let's see what this is. Yeah, this is that corporate listing. Anyways, so Storage Rentals of America, by far. Okay, that's Needmore Road. There's Bridgewater Road, and I made everybody and all the organizations I was trying to get help with, to avoid this eviction. They were sent all this information, legal aid, everybody, and they let me go get evicted anyways, knowing that I had wasted all this time just getting a storage unit. I mean, 2 days of dealing with these people, and they took my money. This company took my money too, and tied my money up in their bank account. Couldn't get it. I still haven't gotten a call from the supervisor. I got one call with it from an anonymous supervisor. Didn't leave their name or what location they were in, and I called back to the call center, and the best they could do is guess. It took them a while to look around, and finally, submit another callback, which will take 24 hours. Pretty soon, it'll be 24 hours. And right at the 24-hour mark, I'll get a phone call. This time I'll record it. And, I mean, this is just unbelievable, So, and I presented this to the court. I told the court, I've been trying to get out. I have chronic degenerative bone disease in my spine. I've had 2 cervical disectomies and fusions. I've got a almost a tennis ball size hernia, and I'm loading my stuff by myself because no one at the HUD Vash um, Dayton VA location has even offered to send anybody over here to help. You know, so this is just showing you more about the war on the poor, because that's what it is. They want to keep you down and out so you can not defend yourself. You know, this is this is a public housing disaster, and it's designed this way because they profit off of homelessness. The VA, when I first qualified for the voucher, they, you know, I was going through a eviction in Xenia, Ohio, where the uh, property I was at, the toilet had been leaking into the crawl space with the tenant before me, and the landlord refused to make the repairs. We're trying to blame all this on me, and code enforcement wasn't falling for it. They saw it through every bit of it, and initially, so they came over and condemned the property. That was the only thing they could do, you know, and they sent me a notice. I had 7 days to be out, but they gave me, they said, take as much time as you need, you know, because we know what's going on. It's not your fault. So, I mean, it's just been one slumlord landlord after another. Because Xenia, well, that eviction was, or not eviction, yeah, he was trying to evict me. He had filed for an eviction, this landlord, and he was trying to say that he was blaming all this stuff on me, and I filed a counter claim at the courthouse, you know, and ended up winning the case. But I went to the Xenia HUD office and saw they had a poster up on the wall that said HUD Vash, Homelessness Prevention and Homelessness Assistance. So I went out to the HUD, I made an appointment, went out to the HUD Vash department at the Dayton Veterans Hospital and had an interview, and they approved me, but they wanted me to put my dog in a shelter and put all my stuff in storage that I would have had to pay for, and crawl into transitional housing, you know. And you can look at the transitional housing that these people are using and see that there are children dying, there's prostitution, there's drug addiction, and everything imaginable going on in these places. Um, and what most people don't understand is they make money off of the transitional housing. They get federal grant money for each person in those cots, you know, just like they do in prison, you know. So um, I refuse to put my animal. I mean, my dog is he's been my companion through every bit of this, and I'm not going to leave a soldier on the field. No soldier left behind, unlike uh, corporate America. So, anyways, I go to the St. Vincent de Paul Veterans and Family Program, you know, Veterans and Family First program, and they took me over to 204 Heaton Avenue, Dayton, Ohio. And when I looked at the place, it had a bunch of half-done projects, um, and when I was hesitant to sign the lease, and the guy that was there, you know, showing the place, assured me that all of those projects would be cleaned up and finished before I moved in. So I signed the lease. I move in, and I mean, you can't make this stuff up. I'm going down the steps to get the clothes out of the dryer to go to this hearing at the Xenia Municipal Court. And one of the 16 code enforcement violations was no handrail and loose steps going down into the basement. And I was going down to get my clothes out of the dryer to go to that court hearing, and the basement steps collapsed. I fell all the way onto the concrete floor of the basement, breaking my wrist, and I had to go to the hospital instead of court. So when I get back from the hospital, you know, I called the court before I went to the hospital and let them know what was going on. I went to the hospital, got my arm in a cast, and went back home, and I called Midwest Acquisition and Property Management LLC, and you know, the person that answered the phone, I said, you know, I just want to let you know that the maintenance request that I put, one of the maintenance requests I put into the portal. I mean, this is 2 weeks of being in this apartment. I said, I just want to let you know that uh, the basement steps collapsed, and I fell and broke my arm. You know, and the guy says, "What are you doing going into the basement?" I mean, that question just, I didn't even know how to answer it. You know, I'm like, I'm going down there to get the laundry out of my washer and dryer. You know, I still don't know what you're doing going down into the basement. You know, and I hung up on the. Oh, I said, well then you're not even smart enough to be in this conversation, and hung up. You know, and it turned out that I was speaking to the CEO of Midwest Acquisition and Property Management. And you know, immediately a nonstop campaign of harassment. You know, just like what just occurred in this eviction, and they showed up at my door. I had it was Friday when I broke my wrist. Saturday they wanted they said this black gentleman was a really nice guy, and you know, him and I got along pretty good. But I told him he came over and went and looked at the basement steps and everything, you know, and I told him, I said, listen, from now on we're going to go by the Ohio law, you know. There's going to have to be a 24 notice put on the door, you know, and then we're going to follow the rules from now on. So he talked to somebody at corporate and came back and hung a notice that they were coming over to make repairs and stuff. This was on Saturday, 21 hours before they showed up at my door on Sunday. And I'd already sent them an email. I was like, you know, you're not coming in when you come over here because I just got a cast on my arm. I need to rest and stuff. And besides, Sunday's the day of rest. You know, and the notices on the door is not in correspondence with the law. And they showed up at my door with 7 people. One was a female, and the other one was an armed security guard. And the biggest guy standing right at the door, inside the foyer, and I'm talking to the door. What do you want? We're here to make the repairs. And I said, not today, you're not. And I opened the door and I said, listen, this campaign, this retaliation stuff is not going to happen. And but it did. But anyways, I said, um, you're not coming in here. And I went to shut the door, and the big guy stuck his foot in the way of the door. I said, I drew the door back real far, and I said, you want to keep that foot, you better get it out of the way. Bam! I slammed the door. I said, you know, if you guys want to fix something, how about go down there and fix the basement steps? That's a common area, and uh, you know, I can't stop you from going there. And Bradley Millward was standing right there. He's the CEO of this dirtbag company, and they went down there and armed security guard at the door, 6 people down in the basement, and they took 5 hours to fix 5 steps, which failed uh, inspection by the Code Enforcement of Dayton, Ohio. Let's go forward a little bit. they keep putting notices, 3-day notices, 3-day notices, 3-day notices, and I'm talking to code enforcement, and somebody down there was giving me good information. Sent me a copy of the code enforcement violations and all that stuff, and then all of a sudden they, somebody higher up over them, uh, told them not to talk to me anymore. But it's too late. I already had all that stuff. So, fast forward to the beginning of the pandemic, I call uh, code enforcement. I call the Montgomery County health, public health um, people, and told them that the landlord, or not the landlord, I'm sorry, the tenant upstairs toilet was leaking into my kitchen sink, and no one ever showed up. All the way up to the time I got unlawfully evicted. I made the attorney general. I made everybody aware of this, and nobody did anything. I went to court and got thrown out, despite all of this stuff. The county commissioners knew about it. Judy Dodge, Deputy Lieberman, Carolyn Rice, everybody knew about it. The Ohio State Attorney General, the Public Health Commission, everybody knew. The St. Vincent de Paul people, you know, and they ended up, the St. Vincent Paul people had to put me in a motel, but I had to put all my stuff in storage and pay for it out of my pocket. And every time I move in and out of storage, my stuff gets broken and lost, and it's just a big disaster. And they put me in the uh, um, Hilton Home 2 Suites, and I was there for about 150 days on taxpayer dollar. Okay, that's the most important aspect to know about this. That these people don't care about this waste and fraud because it's not coming out of their pocket. Okay, it comes out of the taxpayer's pocket. So, and then I caught the supervisor of the St. Vincent de Paul Veterans of Family First program lying to me because they got tired of paying that bill at the Hilton Home 2 Suites on Miller Lane, and they and HUD Vash team having such a hard time finding me a place that they started making up lies and stuff because they wanted to move me into a cheaper motel. And they moved me into the this is just too ironic. They moved me into the Red Lion Inns and Suites on Miller Lane, and I moved in there, and I mean, this just occurred to me. There were bed bugs in the freaking. This is hilarious, hilariously ironic, which really shouldn't be funny, but they had bed bugs in the Red Lion Inns and Suites, and they moved me into a model that no one had ever slept in, and the taxpayers paid for all of this stuff. And then I finally got the HUD Vash team referred me to a landlord in Drexel, Ohio, Trotwood, and everything was going really good and stuff, and the Public Housing Authority, Greater Dayton Premier Management came out and conducted an inspection and failed the property. And the landlord has 30 days to repair any uh, thing that's he had to repair the massive mouse infestation, and he failed to do that in a timely fashion. So Greater Dayton Premier Management abates their payment. They stop making their portion of the payment, And 24 CFR 983353 is the federal regulation governing the payment, you know, the public housing portion and the tenant portion. And it's unlawful for the tenant or for the landlord to ask for one penny more than that. So that's why it's so important to make your keep your rent um, current. But it really doesn't matter because uh, you know the Sears Properties LLC filed a non-payment of rent um, complaint for eviction, and I went to like 4 hearings out there, and I was pointing out all the deficiencies in the summon and everything. You know, they had it was on Hannah Avenue, and they had one N in the word Hannah. That makes that fraudulent upon its face, you know. And finally, the magistrate says, I'm going to tell you something, Mr. Faulkner, this is not going to go this way next time. So I sent out um, notices to abate the certified mail. I sent out um, notarized statements of abatement of this unlawful eviction because of the deficiencies on the summons, which they never did correct, and the retaliatory campaign, and that they had kept my rent check, but they didn't cash my rent check. And finally, in that last hearing, uh, Municipal Judge Pierges was there, and he's the one that I served because he was over top of that magistrate. I've served the sheriff's department, the clerk of court. I served the HUD Bash team. I served Greater Dayton Premier Management, Annie Roper, and the the hearing in the hearing. I don't know if I still have a copy of that video or not, but I posted it on social media and everything. The because I bought the disc, I paid for the disc where they recorded the entire proceeding, and the magistrate, or the judge, I'm sorry, the presiding judge for that Dayton Municipal Court, or Montgomery County Municipal Court out in New Lebanon, Ohio, he allowed the landlord to attempt to give me the rent check. And I refused it. I walked out of there. I refused to accept that rent check back. And they evicted me anyways. And I submitted a disciplinary council complaint to the Ohio Supreme Court Disciplinary Council, and they said that the judge did nothing wrong. And then they turned around and Judge Pierges and Mike, I can't remember his name right now, the common or the clerk of courts for the county, they both had been being investigated, and they got dismissed. You know, the judge got thrown off the bench, and Mike Foley, that's his name, Mike Foley got dismissed. You know, so I got evicted, and then the HUD Bash team had to put me in another motel room, and I stayed there, and then I moved in here, and the rest of that story is all over this YouTube channel and all of my other channels, including Linktree and all that stuff. So hopefully the multiple OIG informations, you know, investigations do the job, you know, and uphold my constitutional rights, because these people have conspired to trample my constitutional rights. They have ruined my health. They have ruined me financially, and there's no end to it. There's no end in sight. And now I've got another unlawful eviction on my record, my credit record, and now I'm at the mercy of the HUD-VATCH team at Dayton VA Hospital, who is well documented on all my channels as just being in full retaliatory mode. They're, they're talking to me like I'm a piece of dirt, and they're giving me useless house referrals, and they won't answer their phone. They're playing games with their phone, blocking my number, and all this stuff. You know, so there you have it. The Truth Whisperer, having fun, telling the truth about the corrupt system, the uh, America's broken public housing system, you know, which affects everyone. You should like and subscribe to this channel and share this with anyone you know who is on the voucher program or going through any veterans on the HUD voucher uh, program, and let them see what's going on here, because they need to know this stuff, so they can even recognize it. Most people don't have the ability to even recognize when the law's been broken and their rights have been trampled. So that's why this is important information that I keep posting. And I'm no longer mad about it, and I'm going to have fun with this, because that's the only choice I have. If I make my get all bent out of shape, and I'm the only one that suffers from that. My health is more important than these people. I'm not going to give myself the stroke because these people don't care. Have a great day, everyone.